Hi everybody, I'm Jeff with Virginia Paranormal Investigations, and tonight we're out here in Fairfax, Virginia, and we're in search of an urban legend known as Bunnyman Bridge. And many of you may have heard of this urban legend. It's a very famous one, especially in this area. Now, I know there are a couple different variations of the story behind Bunnyman Bridge, but I'd like to share one that I heard from a local. And the legend goes that years ago, there was a mental asylum up here that was closing down. And it was closing down because of the demand of the citizens of Fairfax. They didn't like the cruel treatment to the inmates and such, so they were going to relocate all the inmates to a different hospital or a different asylum. And they had several different little transport vans. Well, one of these vans wrecked along the way, and all the inmates that were on that van escaped. So the police formed a search party, and they went out and rounded up all but one of these inmates. And this guy is the one that became known as the Bunny Man. He went out and started killing people, and police started finding carcasses of rabbits. First they started finding rabbits strung up all around this area known as Bunnyman Bridge, which is also called Colchester Overpass, or Colchester Crossing, I'm sorry. But they started finding all these rabbit carcasses around there. The rabbits were half eaten and just left laying around this bridge. So they couldn't figure out why all these half-eaten rabbits were turning out around there. So not long after that, they started finding people, half-eaten people, that were turning up around Bunnyman Bridge. So the police formed a search party again, and they went out and they're trying to find this inmate, and they determined that it was him that was the one that was responsible for all these deaths of both the rabbits and the people. And the name eludes me right now as to who he was. Do you remember the name?
No.
No. But nonetheless, witnesses started seeing this guy, who they believed was this inmate, running around back here in a bunny man suit, like a giant bunny costume. Like, I guess like the Easter bunny would wear in the mall. And there was one story with a cadet that was parked back there with his girlfriend, and a guy in a giant bunny suit came out wielding an axe and threw the axe through the car window and yelled at them, and they took off and got the heck out of there. And someone else, a construction worker, saw him. He came up with an axe and started hacking away at one of the posts on a house that they were building back there or something like that. So the legend goes that if you drive through Bunnyman Bridge, the Bunny Man will come down. I don't know where he comes down from, but he'll basically appear and try to kill you. There's a couple variations. Some say you got to say his name a couple times and stuff like that, but a lot of people claim to see this Bunny Man. So we're going to go up here. We're going to show you what the bridge looks like. We can't get out and walk around. It's illegal, but we are going to go through the bridge, through the tunnel, and let you see what it looks like. Okay, dead end. That looks very promising, right?
Yes.
How you feeling about that?
Not very good. It makes me nervous that anytime we have to go down a dead-end road, and you never know who you're going to encounter down here, whether it be some crazy man in a bunny suit or simply some other crazy person running around down here. It's a little unsettling.
Yes, it is. But luckily, we are packing some heat. All right, so here we are, coming up on Bunnyman Bridge, and go a little slow through here. a very narrow tunnel. Very creepy. And see, this is what I say. I don't know where the bunny man is supposed to come down from, unless he's like latched up on the ceiling, or perhaps he comes down from the front here. I don't know. Definitely an eerie tunnel. I didn't hear anything jump down on the roof of the car or anything like that, which was good. All right, so let's take another lap through. Bunnyman Bridge. It's definitely a creepy surrounding. Could almost expect someone to jump out. So we're leaving Bunnyman Bridge and heading down Fairfax Station Road, and we see a car parked down there with its headlights on, and a guy kind of slumped over the steering wheel. So long story short, the fire department's down there right now, I guess assessing the situation. So we can't really zoom in too much more than this, but you can see the flashing lights down there, and a little bit of action here on these back creepy roads in Fairfax, Virginia. So we stopped at a rest stop just outside of Manassas, or it might be in Manassas, I'm not 100% sure, off of I-95 nonetheless. We decided after traveling through Bunnyman Bridge, it's time for a paranormal pit stop. So we're going to stop here and use the restroom facilities and perhaps catch a little bit of shut-eye, because it's a little bit of a drive back to the Yorktown area of Virginia. But Bunnyman Bridge is definitely a cool place. It's an urban legend, so a lot of the reports... That sounded like an accident.
It did. I don't know what
I'm
that
not sure
was.
if you could hear that. But yeah, definitely sounded like an accident. We drove through there. We did not see the Bunny Man.
No.
The Bunny Man is a mixture of urban legend and truth. The sightings of the Bunny Man were actually reported from the cadet and from the construction worker, but I don't believe that there were any records of there ever being an asylum up in that area.
Right, right. And, you know, who knows? I mean, these people could have been shuttled from a prison nearby. There's just really no way to tell now where these people could have come from. But, you know, like most urban legends, it is a mixture of truth and that's been kind of embellished, I think, over time. So there may be no way to really tell at this point whether there actually was an asylum or not, and where this Bunny Man may have come from.
Depending on how old it was and such, and how well the records were kept.
Right.
But also, it's creepy because it's a dead-end road. So once you go under the overpass, and through Bunnyman Bridge, through the tunnel, it comes to a dead end, and that's kind of creepy in itself, because you kind of get that feeling of, what if something comes up behind me and I'm trapped down here? You know, I can't make a U-turn, I can't get out of here.
Right.
But fortunately, that didn't happen for us.
Yes.
Now, on the way back from Bunnyman Bridge, interesting event. If I did not edit that part out of the video, you saw the lights and sirens earlier.
Right.
Yeah. We were driving around, and there was a car stopped somewhat just in the road. With someone just...
Yeah, the car was running. The lights were on. There was even a pool of water condensation underneath the car where it looked like he had the AC on. But yeah, when we drove past, it looked like a young guy, and He had his head completely down, so we thought, okay, he's either passed out drunk or he's dead, so maybe we ought to call the cops.
Right.
And that's what we did.
Right. And, you know, so they showed up, and fire department showed up. 3 cops showed up.
Yeah.
Man, it was like a lot of action.
Yeah. Yeah, it
out
was like
there.
a house fire out there is
Right.
what it looked like, yeah.
Out there on the back roads.
Yeah.
Now, Bunnyman Bridge, you got to keep in mind that you're not allowed to get out and walk around there.
Yeah.
I believe the bridge itself is owned by the railroad, and according to what I've heard, they do prosecute for being out there around Bunnyman Bridge. So, nonetheless, a cool place. We were up here, we were called up to Chantilly, Virginia, which is about 20 minutes from Bunnyman Bridge, give or take. And we were doing a residential investigation, and you know, we thought, hey, while we're at the Sheets getting ourselves some coffee,
Yeah.
paranormal pit stops, we decided that let's go check out Bunnyman Bridge.
Yeah.
So there it is, ladies and gentlemen, Bunnyman Bridge. And we hope you'll also check out paranormalpitstops.com. There will be links on there to our other YouTube channel, which is all about places to stop while you're out investigating late at night, unique places in some of the different cities and towns that we go to. And it's just basically paranormal investigators giving reviews, or not even reviews sometimes they're just showing what's out there and what you can get at certain places and such. But check it out, paranormalpitstops.com. And until next time, I'm Jeff.
And I'm Linda.
There's much more to see in the dark.